It started with energy. So much energy. I felt amazing. That's the protocol working, Vanessa told me. Your body is finally getting what it needs. Then came the headaches, the nausea, the irregular heartbeat. Detox symptoms, she said. Completely normal. Push through. So I did. For 6 months, I pushed through. Paid her $2,000 a month for supplements and meal plans. Trusted her completely. Until the day I collapsed at work and woke up in intensive care. That's when the doctors found it. Toxic levels of substances that should never be in a human body. And when I finally investigated Vanessa's credentials, every single one was fake. My name is Derek Lawson. I'm 38 years old. And this is the story of how a fake nutritionist nearly killed me and how I brought down her entire operation. 2 years ago, I was overweight and unhappy. Not dangerously obese, but carrying an extra 50 pounds I couldn't seem to lose. I worked as a software developer in Austin, Texas. Long hours sitting at a desk. Too much takeout. Not enough exercise. The usual story. I tried everything. Meal delivery services. Gym memberships I never used. Apps that tracked calories. Nothing stuck. I'd lose 10 pounds, then gain back 15. The cycle was exhausting. Then a coworker mentioned Elite Performance Center. My wife goes there, he said. Works with this nutritionist named Vanessa Clark. Lost 40 pounds in 6 months. Looks incredible. Feel incredible too. I looked it up that night. Elite Performance Center had a sleek website. Professional photos. Testimonials from clients who'd transformed their bodies. And Vanessa Clark's credentials were impressive. Certified nutritional specialist. Licensed wellness coach. Master's degree in exercise science from a university I'd never heard of, but it sounded legitimate. Her consultation fee was $300. Steep, but if it worked, it would be worth it. I called the next day and scheduled an appointment. Vanessa's office was in an upscale wellness complex. Yoga studios. Massage therapy. Organic juice bar in the lobby. Everything looked professional. Expensive. Vanessa herself was maybe 35. Energetic. The kind of person who made you feel like your problems were solvable. Derek, tell me about your goals, she said, sitting across from me with a tablet. I want to lose weight. Feel better. Have more energy. Have you tried dieting before? Everything. Nothing works long term. She nodded knowingly. That's because traditional diets don't address the root cause. Your metabolism is damaged from years of yo-yo dieting. Your hormones are imbalanced. Your gut health is compromised. You're not failing at diets. The diets are failing you. It made sense. More than that, it made me feel less guilty. This wasn't my fault. My body was broken. But she could fix it. My program isn't cheap, Vanessa said. It's a 6-month commitment. Custom meal plans. Pharmaceutical-grade supplements. Weekly check-ins. The investment is $2,000 per month. $12,000 total. More than I'd ever spent on anything health-related. But I was desperate. The supplements alone cost me over $800 per month wholesale, she continued. I'm formulating them specifically for your biochemistry. These aren't things you can buy in stores. What's in them? Proprietary blends, amino acids, adaptogens, metabolic enhancers, all natural, all safe. I've used these protocols with over 300 clients. The results speak for themselves. She showed me before and after photos on her tablet. Dozens of transformed bodies. Testimonials praising her methods. I'm in, I said. The first month was incredible. Vanessa put me on a strict meal plan. High protein, low carb, no sugar, no alcohol. And the supplements. So many supplements. 3 different pills in the morning, 2 at lunch, for at night, plus a powder I mixed into water before workouts. Within 2 weeks, I had energy like I'd never experienced. I woke up at 5 a.m. feeling rested, worked out for an hour, came home still buzzing. My coworkers noticed. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it, my boss said. You seem like a different person. I lost 12 pounds the first month. Vanessa was thrilled. Your body is responding beautifully. The protocol is working exactly as designed. Month 2, I lost another 15 pounds. I was down from 210 to 183. I could see my jawline again. My clothes fit better. I felt like I was finally winning. But that's also when the headaches started. At first, they were mild. Just pressure behind my eyes. I mentioned it to Vanessa during our weekly check-in. Detox, she said immediately. Your body is releasing stored toxins. It's uncomfortable, but it's necessary. Drink more water. It'll pass. So I drank more water. The headaches didn't pass. They got worse. Month 3 brought new symptoms. Nausea in the mornings. Trouble sleeping despite feeling exhausted. My hands would shake sometimes. Heart would race for no reason. Still detox, Vanessa said. Your body has been toxic for years. It takes time to clear everything out. But look at your results. You've lost 32 pounds. You look amazing. She was right about the results. I dropped from 183 to 178. I was the leanest I'd been since college. People were complimenting me constantly. But I felt terrible. The energy had turned into jitters. The weight loss had plateaued. And new symptoms kept appearing. Mood swings. Irritability. Weird tingling in my fingers and toes. Vanessa, I'm worried something's wrong, I said during our month 4 check-in. Derek, transformation isn't comfortable. You're breaking down old patterns. Rebuilding from the ground up. Of course there's discomfort, but we're so close to your goal. Don't quit now. She adjusted my supplements. Added 2 new pills to the morning routine. Increased the dosage of the pre-workout powder. This will help stabilize things, she promised. It didn't. Month 4 was worse. I started having chest pains. Not severe, but enough to scare me. My resting heart rate, which used to be around 70, was now consistently above 90. Sometimes reaching 110 while I was just sitting at my desk. I scheduled an appointment with my regular doctor. Dr. Patricia Chen had been my physician for 10 years. Derek, you look different, she said when she walked into the exam room. I've lost weight. Working with a nutritionist. How much weight? 38 pounds in 4 months. Her expression changed. That's too fast. What kind of program are you on? I explained the meal plan and supplements. Dr. Chen asked for the supplement bottles. I'd brought them, as she'd requested over the phone. She examined the labels. These don't list all the ingredients. Just proprietary blend. That's a red flag. I want to run some blood work. I'm sure it's fine, my nutritionist said. I'd like to verify that. Humor me. The blood work came back 3 days later. Dr. Chen called me directly, which never happened. Derek, I need you to stop taking those supplements immediately. But what's wrong? Your liver enzymes are elevated. Significantly. Your kidney function is declining. And your thyroid markers are all over the place. These supplements are causing damage. That can't be right. Vanessa said they're all natural. Natural doesn't mean safe. Arsenic is natural. So is cyanide. I'm referring you to a specialist. And I'm going to report this to the health department. I stopped the supplements that day. Called Vanessa to tell her what Dr. Chen had said. Your doctor doesn't understand advanced nutritional protocols, Vanessa said dismissively. Traditional medicine is decades behind. They see elevated numbers and panic. But I've seen this before. Your body is healing. Sometimes healing looks like crisis. My doctor said my organs are being damaged. She's wrong. Trust me. I've guided hundreds of people through this. If you stop now, you'll lose all your progress. Your body will rebound. You'll gain everything back. I didn't know who to trust. My doctor or my nutritionist. One was saying I was healing. The other was saying I was dying. I made a compromise. I stopped the supplements but continued the meal plan. Maybe Dr. Chen was being overly cautious. Maybe Vanessa was right about traditional medicine not understanding. 2 weeks later, I collapsed at work. I was in a meeting. Normal Tuesday afternoon. I stood up to write something on the whiteboard, and the room started spinning. My heart was racing, pounding so hard I could feel it in my throat. Then everything went black. I woke up in an ambulance. Paramedics were putting in 4 in my arm. "Just stay calm, sir. We're taking you to the hospital." In the ER, they ran every test imaginable. Blood work, CT scan. The doctor on duty was a young woman named Dr. Rodriguez. "Mr. Lawson, your heart is in arrhythmia. Your potassium levels are dangerously low. Your liver and kidney functions are compromised. I need to know what substances you've been taking." I told her everything. The supplements. Vanessa's program. Dr. Rodriguez's face hardened. "Do you still have the supplement bottles?" "At home. I stopped taking them 2 weeks ago." "I need someone to bring them here. We need to know exactly what you've been ingesting." My roommate brought them to the hospital. Dr. Rodriguez sent them to the lab for analysis. The results took 3 days. I spent those 3 days in the ICU. They stabilized my heart, gave me fluids, monitored my organ function. When Dr. Rodriguez came back with the lab results, she wasn't alone. There was a man in a suit with her. "Derek, this is Agent Morrison from the FDA. The supplements you were taking contain multiple banned substances." Agent Morrison opened a folder. Ephedrine analogs, synthetic thyroid hormones, unlisted stimulants. Some of these haven't been legal in the United States for over a decade. "Where did you get them?" "My nutritionist, Vanessa Clark at Elite Performance Center." "And she told you these were safe?" "She said they were natural, pharmaceutical grade." Agent Morrison and Dr. Rodriguez exchanged looks. "Mr. Lawson, we need you to tell us everything about this woman." Over the next week, while I recovered in the hospital, I gave my full statement. Everything about Vanessa. The program. The cost. The promises. The symptoms she dismissed. Agent Morrison brought another person to interview me. Detective Sarah Kim from the Austin PD Fraud Division. "We've been investigating Elite Performance Center for 2 months, Detective Kim said. "You're the 4th person to report health issues. But you're the first who nearly died. That changes everything." "4th person? There are others. At least 4 that we know of. Probably more who haven't come forward yet." "What about her credentials? Her certifications?" Detective Kim pulled out documents. "We've checked every certificate on her wall. The Certified Nutritional Specialist credential? The organization that supposedly issued it doesn't exist. The Licensed Wellness Coach certification? Her master's degree? The university she listed has no record of her ever attending. So she's not qualified at all? She has no legitimate training whatsoever. Her real name isn't even Vanessa Clark. It's Amy Thornton. She's run similar operations in 3 other states. Different names each time. Different fake credentials. Same dangerous supplements." I felt sick. Sicker than I already was. How is this possible? How does someone get away with this? "The wellness industry is poorly regulated," Detective Kim explained. "Anyone can call themselves a nutritionist. Anyone can sell supplements. And by the time people get sick, she's already moved on to the next city." "But not this time?" "Not this time. Because you nearly died. And because we finally have enough evidence to charge her with fraud, practicing medicine without a license, and now aggravated assault." They arrested Vanessa 2 weeks later. I was still in the hospital, moved from ICU to a regular room. Detective Kim called to tell me. "We got her. She tried to run, but we picked her up at the airport. Had a bag full of cash and fake IDs. What happens now? She'll be charged. And with your testimony and the others, she's going away for a long time." I was discharged after 3 weeks in the hospital. My liver and kidney functions were improving, but the doctors said it would take months to fully recover. Maybe longer. Some of the damage might be permanent. My medical bills totaled over $80,000. Insurance covered most of it, but I was still left with $12,000 in debt. On top of the $12,000 I'd paid Vanessa. $24,000 to almost die. I joined a support group for people affected by wellness fraud. Turns out there were dozens of us in Austin alone. Different fake practitioners. Different dangerous products. Same story. Desperate people trusting someone who seemed legitimate. At the group, I met Rachel. She'd been seeing a fake chiropractor who'd convinced her to stop taking her diabetes medication. She'd ended up in diabetic ketoacidosis. Nearly died too. The worst part, she said during one meeting, is feeling stupid. Like I should have known. You weren't stupid, the group leader said. You were trusting. These people are professionals. Professional liars. That's not on you. But it was hard not to blame myself. All those red flags I'd ignored. The proprietary blends with no ingredient lists. The dismissal of my doctor's concerns. The too good to be true promises. Vanessa's trial started 8 months after my collapse. I testified. So did 3 other victims. The prosecution presented the fake certificates. The lab analysis of the supplements. The financial records showing she'd made over $400,000 in 2 years selling dangerous products to vulnerable people. Her defense argued that she believed the supplements were safe. That she'd been deceived by her supplier. That she'd never intended to hurt anyone. The jury didn't buy it. They convicted her on all counts. Practicing medicine without a license. Multiple counts of aggravated assault. The judge sentenced her to 12 years in prison. Ms. Thornton, the judge said, you systematically exploited people's desire to be healthy. You put profits over safety. And you nearly killed multiple people. This sentence reflects the severity of your crimes. After the trial, I met with the other victims. We'd formed a bond through this nightmare. Rachel suggested we do something productive with our experience. We could warn other people. Help them spot the red flags we missed. So we created a website, Wellness Fraud Watch. We documented our stories, listed red flags to watch for, provided resources for checking credentials, explained how to verify licenses and certifications. Within 3 months, we'd heard from over 200 people across the country, all with similar stories. Fake practitioners, dangerous products, health problems dismissed as detox. We started working with state regulators and law enforcement, helping them identify fraudulent operations, providing testimony, advocating for stronger regulations in the wellness industry. Today, 2 years after my collapse, I'm healthier. Not perfect. My liver function never fully recovered. I have to avoid certain medications now. And I'll probably deal with heart issues for the rest of my life. But I'm alive. And I'm using that life to make sure fewer people fall victim to predators like Vanessa. Last month, our website helped shut down a fake nutritionist in Seattle. She had similar credentials to Vanessa. Same setup. Same dangerous supplements. But this time, we caught her before anyone ended up in the hospital. That felt like a victory. A small one, but meaningful. I still struggle with trust. Every time I consider seeing a new doctor or trying a new health approach, I research obsessively. Check credentials multiple times. Look for red flags. Rachel says that's normal. That we all do it now. Trust, but verify, she says. It's not paranoia. It's survival. The support group still meets monthly. We've helped each other through medical procedures, anxiety, and the ongoing trauma of what happened to us. Some members have fully recovered physically. Others, like me, are dealing with permanent damage. But we're all still here. And we're all fighting to make sure the wellness industry is held accountable. Last week, I got a call from Detective Kim. Derek, thought you'd want to know. We just arrested someone running the same scam in Dallas. Your website tip led us to her. Seized her office before she could hurt anyone seriously. Same fake credentials? Identical. She was probably trained by Vanessa. Or part of the same network. There's a network? We're finding that out. This is bigger than we thought. But thanks to you and the others speaking up, we're making progress. After we hung up, I sat on my porch for a long time. Thinking about that first consultation with Vanessa. How convinced I'd been that she was the answer. How desperate I'd been to believe someone could fix me. The truth I've learned is harder but more important. There are no magic solutions. Real health takes time. Real expertise requires real credentials. And anyone promising quick fixes for a high price is probably lying. I lost 50 pounds through this experience. But not the way I'd intended. I lost them through organ failure, hospital stays, and recovery. That's not transformation. That's trauma. Today, I weigh 195 pounds. More than when I started. But I'm working with a real doctor. A real registered dietitian. People with verified credentials from actual institutions. People who answer my questions instead of dismissing my concerns. It's slower. Less exciting. There's no magical energy. No dramatic before and after photos after just 1 month. But I'm healthy. Genuinely healthy. Not poisoned and losing weight healthy. Actually healthy. And that's worth more than any fake transformation ever could be. Vanessa is in prison. Her network is being dismantled. And every day, our website helps someone else avoid making the mistake I made. That won't give me back my health. Won't erase the scars. Won't return the $24,000. But it means something. Because the opposite of being a victim isn't revenge. It's prevention. And every person we help is one less person in intensive care. One less person wondering how they could have been so stupid. One less person learning the hard way that not everyone with certificates on their wall deserves your trust. Some lessons cost money. Mine almost cost my life. But if sharing that lesson saves even one person, then maybe it was worth surviving.